This is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another. Well, today we're talking about TJ Holmes, crazy in love but can't get a job. Now, most black people knew this was not going to end well for TJ Holmes. And I think many of us questioned why he would think this was going to work out for him. He and this woman, Amy Robach, were co-anchors at Good Morning America 3. And they just decided they were going to start an affair. You're cute, I'm cute. Why don't we make something out of this? And everybody knows the history of them. He was married, she was married. Her daughter babysat his daughter. He called her husband a friend and then turned around and started an affair with friend's wife. So this is really kind of sleazy behavior on the national, maybe even the international scene, where they apparently thought what they were doing was cute because they were laughing and hanging out and just, like, we're important. I'm TJ. She's Amy. We're important. We got top ratings at ABC. They can't touch us. Well, it turns out they could, and they did. So they both ended up getting fired from the job. And since they've been fired, he has filed for divorce from his wife, his beautiful wife, Marital, which apparently that marriage was already on the rocks, because when you read the tweet that he wrote on one of her birthdays or on his birthday, it sounded like a man that was doing everything he could to tear up his marriage, to destroy his marriage, but the wife was just hanging on. That's what it sounded like. So at least now he's out of that marriage. Now, it must be said, this is the second marriage that has blown up on him. He was married to Amy Holmes, and they have 2 children. They don't show those children, they don't talk about those children, but he has 2 children with her. So apparently he doesn't have a hard time walking away from a wife and children. So this is what he has done. So he's a serial cheater, a serial abandoner of families, and now he's with this woman. I guess she's the love of his life now. And they apparently want the world to think that they are madly in love, and they might be. And that love might be all they have. They might have to live off that love for the foreseeable future, because nobody that can give them a job on the level of which they're accustomed thinks that what they did is cute. Now they're on the begging circuit. They're pitching ideas to different networks for different kinds of programming, talk show, or they say at this point they'll even take a game show. But when they pitched an idea to one of the networks for a talk show, they said, no, what you gonna talk about? Having an affair? So this is the treatment that they're getting as a couple, because they're trying to market themselves as a couple and it's not working. So it's really looking really dark and dreary for TJ, but we predicted that Amy would recover. So Amy is being offered work, but he's not. And the condition that she wants to go is that he has to come. So they had News Nation offered her a job. They had both of them to come in and interview, I guess, for the job. They offered her a job and said he had no place at their studio. So this is how it's going for him. I believe that she accepted it initially, and who knows, maybe he put pressure on her. But anyway, she came back and said that they were just going to wait until the right opportunity came along. TJ Holmes is the black version of a dumb blonde, because he really does not see the handwriting on the wall. He crossed the line when he got involved with a high-value, successful, and attractive white woman that was married to a white man. He crossed a line. And once you go over that line, it's questionable whether or not you'll be able to come back across that line. The only way that T.J. Holmes could have possibly made the move he made work would be that we were never enslaved. We would have never had the law where black couldn't marry white. We never would have had the one drop rule, never had segregation. We wouldn't have had any of the discrimination laws that we've had since we've been in this country. This country would have had to be flipped upside down, and we would have to be a completely different group of people for that to work for him. So it doesn't look like TJ is going to be offered anything respectable in television news. Now, what he seems not to be willing to do is to go out there and start his own thing. Go out there and get a podcast or a YouTube channel and do his own thing. The two of them can then put their popularity to the test to see how many people, who it is, and how many people want to see them on a daily or a weekly basis, or however often they want to show up. This would be a good test for them to see just how much the public wants to see them. They have a following, mainly of white women, these love is love people, and you ought to be able to be with whomever you love, even if you have to tear up your family. That's the kind of stuff that you read when people write comments on these social media platforms. They feel like it's all about them being in love. And I think a lot of it has to do with them being happy that he left his black wife for a white woman. I think there's a little bit of ego involved there. But they just don't know. We need to wait and see how it plays out. He doesn't sound like much of a reliable marriage partner to me. And they're saying now that they're going to become engaged sometime in the near future. And so that might be why she won't just take a job. She's going to hold out for the engagement ring and get married, and then she'll go out and get her a job. They know how to play to the cameras. They show up at public events displaying their great affection for each other for the cameras. It's almost like it's staged. They want everybody to see how in love they are. But he cannot get a job. He is crazy in love, evidently, but he can't get a job. Black Americans, some of us still don't understand who we are and where we are. Things haven't changed that much. They really have not changed that much. So what we see here is a black man, attractive, intelligent enough, popular, capable of getting at least decent job, and able to get a decent job on a TV network. And that wasn't good enough for him. And not only is he messing around with this woman, there have been allegations of him being in inappropriate relationships with other women on that network, on ABC. So they aren't really talking so much about that. But it seems like they have absolutely blackballed him because nobody will give him a job. And I wonder about people like TJ. He's almost 50 years old. He's been married to 2 black or half black women. He's connected to the black community. His parents are black. And he goes off and into something like that. Just veers off into something like that. Apparently not even thinking about what America is and is not. America is not a safe harbor for black men with white women, especially white women who are considered desirable that are married to white men. America is not a desirable place for you, especially when you have to go to said white man to get a job. So now he's gone and taken a white woman from her husband, gotten fired from his job, and he now apparently thinks that a white man is going to give him a job. Now, that's delusion on a level that we would not expect from somebody who is a mature grown man educated, and been around the block a couple of times. He ought to know, and he should know, that that is not what you do when you want to work. Now, they've already found his replacement and hers. And what they're saying is that the public likes them. So they're just really out. And the longer they stay out there begging somebody to give them a job, the harder it's going to be for them to get a job. Now, I predict that before it's over, she's going to take a job. She's going to go back to work. So the goal is to break them up, I think. And the way they're going to go about it is that eventually they're going to make her an offer that she can't refuse. But it is not going to include him. He is out. He has ruined his chances in the big time. He probably just a fling. He does not have a record of being faithful. So if he's going to be faithful to this, if this is the big love of his life, we can only hope that it's worth it. Because it looks like his career, as he knows it or as he knew it, is over. It's mind-boggling to me that a man would throw away his opportunities like that, embarrass his wife and children, become a public spectacle. At this point, he's a laughingstock. Black men are making jokes about him. So when black men start making jokes about black men, he's pretty much a laughingstock. So I'm just wondering if it was worth it. Well, it's nobody's business how long it lasts or if it will last. But he was a public figure, a black man, and used to be, we would be very glad to see a black man rise. But now when we see them rise, we just watch them for a minute to see what they do. Because it does not take long for them to abandon their community, their family, and run off into a fantasy world that's going to end probably, if not disaster and disappointment. That's probably what's going to happen with him, and it was all his fault. Because it's not a good look. People have a right to do whatever they want to do, fall in love with whomever they want to fall in love with, but this is not a good look. Now, that's my take on it, but what say you? Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.